City of Toronto feeling like minus 22, and outside in the city of Toronto is Rachel. Rachel, where are you, and how about that cold?
Oh yeah, it's another morning of this cold. I'm down by the beach. A lot of you call this the beaches, but newsflash, it's called the beach now, so that's where I am. And later on, coming up in the show, we're going to talk about the winter stations. Yeah, I'll fill you in on that idea coming up, but really the wind chill is the big story this morning. The core temperature is minus 14, but feels more like minus 23. I've got the monster gloves on, the hat that you need it all today, the big parka as well. And Michelle, it really is just so interesting when you look at the national picture across our country. Weather in March is just so changeable. Yesterday, my mom flew out to Calgary, and I was just reading an email from her this morning. No snowpack on the ground. All you need is a light sweater. And in their 14-day forecast, temperatures reaching 14 degrees. Pretty impressive.
That's right. Who needs to go south when we've got Calgary and Vancouver, right? I'll tell you more on that in just a moment. But first, let's head outside. Rachel Schoutsen, you're in Toronto. Now, I want to say you're at the beaches, but it's the beach, isn't it?
You got it, Michelle. That's the new modern way. It's not called the beaches anymore. It's called the beach. But you know what? I love what you just said. Who needs to go south when you can go to the west? My mom is in Calgary right now, where it's going to be 11 degrees this weekend. Beautiful conditions out west. But here in Ontario, we do have extreme cold warnings in place. I'm down by the beach. And coming up throughout the show, we'll be talking about that wind chill. Yeah, feels like minus 23. But we'll also be talking about winter stations. Someone's idea to change the lifeguard stands here into warming stations, drawing some more people down to the beach. So Michelle, I'll have that story coming up.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that. It's going to be very interesting. I had a look online. You're in for a treat. I'm sure that Rachel Schoutsen is still feeling those cold temperatures. Now, Rachel, before we get into what you're working on today, tell me about our exciting new initiative here, the weather selfie.
Oh, yeah, Michelle, I'm glad you brought that up. The weather selfie, that is you on the Weather Network. So we want viewers to send us videos of them talking about the weather. Take your iPhone or your smartphone, take a selfie video of yourself. Tell me how cold it is. Tell me how much you wish March felt like March, and we'll air it on the Weather Network every weekend. So we look forward to your submissions. You can send it to upload.theweathernetwork.com. Today, though, if I had to do a weather selfie, well, I would tell you it's freezing out here. The wind chill feels like minus 26. I'm down in the beach. You can see the beautiful sunrise here, some low clouds, almost a majestic scene out on the water, and you can see Lake Ontario. I know it's 52% ice cover on it, but hey, here, Michelle, you can see down by the beach, that water certainly is moving.
That's right, Rachel. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, what a cool initiative, the weather selfie. Kudos to Rachel for thinking that one up. Outside bearing those cold temperatures is Rachel Schoutsen in Toronto. Now, Rachel, you've got a pretty exciting morning planned.
I do. And you know what, Michelle? Today is the day for celebrating, in my opinion. Have you seen the 14-day forecast? If you're a viewer at home right now, you're watching us and you haven't seen it, you got to check it out or stick around for us as the local forecast comes up. Today is really the last day. In the next 14 days, that's really this cold. The core temperature right now is minus 14 with the wind chill closer to minus 20. I have to say right now, though, I'm down by the beach. The winds are not too strong. They're coming out of the west at around 10 to 20 kilometers an hour. So today is really the day for celebrating, in my opinion, because the next 14 days looks like a piece of cake. 14 degrees is in the forecast out through the west, 6 degrees in our forecast for about Wednesday. So that's looking pretty good for the city of Toronto.
Morning, Rachel Schoutsen, you're out on location, and I can imagine you're certainly feeling that wind chill.
Oh, yeah, Michelle, it feels cold out here. Core temperature of minus 14, closer to minus 20 once you factor in the wind chill. The winds aren't too strong this morning, but you're still a little bit more cold because, well, they're just here. I want you to stay with us throughout the show this morning because we're talking about winter stations. Have you been down to the beaches, now called the beach area of Toronto? They have had a design competition, a worldwide design competition, to change the lifeguard stands into some warming stations and a new way to sort of draw people down to the beach throughout the colder seasons. So coming up, I'm going to be talking to Aaron Hendershot from Raw Design about this idea. Some amazing scenes here, so you don't want to miss it. That's all coming up right here at the Weather Network.
Thanks so much, Rachel. Yeah, let's head outside now to Rachel Schoutsen. Now, Rachel, I don't know if you're anything like me, it's kind of hard to believe that spring is coming when we're dealing with these frigid mornings.
You know what, Michelle? I'm kind of the opposite. I find it hard to not be so optimistic in March because even when I'm standing in a wind chill of -23, I'm still thinking about spring. Spring is on the way. But you know what? It's cold this morning down by the beach. This is something that's going to warm you up. Let me introduce you here to Aaron Hendershot from Raw Design. And can you talk about the winter stations? This is a new thing here at the beach this winter, and they are amazing. Tell us about them.
Well, it all sort of started last year when we had the opportunity to participate in the Warming Huts event they run in Winnipeg each year. And we were approached by a colleague of ours, Ted Merrick, who walks his dog along the beach. And he thought, it's really bleak and quiet down here in the winter. How can we infuse the beach with life and color and celebrate the city's relationship with the water and the landscape down here, and how can we bring people out of hibernation down to the beach?
And it is such a great idea. You're looking at the snow cone right now. Aaron's going to join us for the rest of the show. Coming up next, we'll introduce you to the wingbat. A very good morning to you. It's Friday and you're watching the Weather Network. We're talking about a bit of snow making its way through the prairies today into Ontario for tomorrow. Michelle Mackey, Nicole Karkic in the inside, and they'll be breaking down all of those details. But right now I'm going to tell you how cold it is throughout Ontario. Extreme cold warnings are in place for places like the Kawarthas, up to Barrie, Peterborough involved in that as well. But where I am here down by the beaches in Toronto, no, the extreme cold warning not in place. I'll just tell you it's extremely cold. But let me brighten you up with this. Introducing here Aaron Hendershot, a part of the winter stations. And what station are we in right now?
This one's called Driftwood Throne from Dan Medeiros from the UK.
So this was a worldwide competition to design sort of a warming station here at the beach. Tell us how many submissions you got and what they were like.
We had almost 200 submissions from about 35 countries from around the world. Out of the submissions we asked, they were judged based on their merit as pieces that can stand alone on the landscape and work as a collection to convey an idea of warmth, to warm up for the winter months, and of course their constructability. And
they are just so cool here. You got to check them out at the beaches. They're here till March the 20th. We'll be showing you some more of these wonderful shots coming up. Well, science behind the gas choices there to science behind the winter stations. Yeah, have you heard of the winter stations down in the beaches here in Toronto? Let me introduce you now to Aaron Hendershot. And Aaron, these designs are amazing here by the beach, and they've really warmed up the scene. Tell us how people are responding to them.
Well, the intention here is really to get people out of hibernation, to come down to the beach, to enjoy the landscape, which people don't really appreciate during the winter. On Family Day, when we had the launch, we had hundreds of people out here, families, dogs. People from the community say they've never seen this many people out this time of year.
And it's such an awesome thing to come and check out this weekend. These will be up until March the 20th. It was a worldwide design competition. Michelle, isn't this amazing? You're looking at Driftwood Throne.
Wow, that is absolutely incredible. What a way as well to get out and actually enjoy the winter.